Hi everyone, my name is Anna and I'm an English school owner and also a teacher trainer. Today we are going to discuss a topic which is going to be interesting both for teachers and English learners, as we are going to discuss Quizlet and how to make it a useful instrument, not only for our students again, but for our own benefit in terms of learning a foreign language. Please watch this video till the end. In the end, I'm going to give you a present which is connected with our topic today. I think we all know that word lists don't really work for us, in terms of learning new vocabulary. You cannot just learn words separately from context. So we need some context and we need a word in collocations, in phrases to understand it better and to know how to use it. And if we think about Quizlet, well, we think about it mostly as an instrument for word lists. And it is true on the one hand, but on the other hand, we can make it more useful and we can create Quizlets in such a way that they will be really beneficial for us. Not just creating lists with separate words and their translation into your native language, but creating something more authentic, I would say. So I would like to show you how I normally work with Quizlets and how I prepare Quizlet sets for my students and for myself. Okay, so here is my Quizlet account, and Quizlet really helped me in preparing for my CPE exam, as I made lots of sets. And you can actually see one of the folders, and it's going to be actually our present for watching this video till the end. I'll tell you later about that. Here is my CPE folder, and you can see that there are 57 sets, so quite a lot of vocabulary, advanced vocabulary, C1, C2 level vocabulary, which I created these sets, and also I added a couple of sets from other people. It's also possible on Quizlet, but I prefer making my own Quizlets. So when you make them on your own, you kind of have better understanding what you have inside there and how it all works. So I really enjoy making my own Quizlets. So let me show you how I normally organize Quizlet sets. So I will open the class which is called Outcomes Advanced, and here is the first unit. Normally the way I name these sets is the unit from the course book, if we are following the course book, the topic of this unit, and the pages where I got the vocabulary from. For one term I can use several words, so like word formation, adjective and noun, for example, or it can be verb, noun, adjective, or opposite adjectives, and so on. So for the first one, affluent, affluence, it's an adjective and noun, and in the beginning I even write type adjective, comma, noun. We know that on Quizlet you have to be pretty precise in what you're writing, as even if you start with a noun and then an adjective and you know that they are correct, still it will be a mistake when you have a test on Quizlet. Then goes the definition. If this word is part of the definition, for example, if someone is a affluent, so a, normally I would just use the first letter of the word, because there are some words which have kind of the same, very similar meaning. And if you don't have the first letter, then it's really hard to understand what it is, especially when you're doing a combined test, so when we combine different units, different Quizlet sets, not only from one Quizlet set, but it's up to you. So you can either write the first letter or not, so it's up to you. You can make it more complicated and just erase the first letter. Then some collocations. Like I said before, it's really important to learn words, new words, not separately, but in some kind of context, and in collocations. Collocations also help us to memorize the word better, the way we use the word. And if we forgot the definition, we cannot understand fully what word comes from the definition. Collocations can help us in terms of identifying what word may be used here in the collocation. Then some examples with using these collocations and just words, the term. And this is how I do it. So what we have to type, what parts of speech we're supposed to use here. Definition, collocations, examples, and some word formation probably. Luckily in Outcomes they actually have the whole thing, the whole list of the vocabulary from the book, so it makes it much more easier. But for some of the course books I have to find the examples, I have to find the collocations, and that's when I refer to a dictionary, normally Cambridge Dictionary or Oxford Dictionary, to find all the examples. Imagine that I have this Quizlet set and I haven't done it for a while. When I would like to review the vocabulary from previous units, maybe which we covered like a month ago or more than a month ago. Normally I don't use the activities of flashcards or just learning. I start off with a test just to check how much I actually remember. So I press the test. I choose only written questions. So the type of questions only written, because I don't think it's really helpful to have this matching material, matching activities, multiple choice activities. They're too easy. But it depends on the students again. So if these are beginners, some lower level students, then we can use different kind of activities. But for higher levels, I think written types of activities are much better to practice spelling. So we create the test with all the terms and go through it. So we try to type all the answers and then we submit the test. We get our results. Well, of course I have 0 because I haven't typed anything. And now we can understand how much from one set we actually remember. And it's okay that with the time we forget more and more things. This is the way our memory works. So that's why it's necessary to review things now and then. And then after that, we can go back and if it's necessary, if the results are really poor, we can do the learn activity. So learning stuff. And or if the results are pretty okay, we can do the test again, maybe a couple of days later. If we have several Quizlet sets ready, I think it's necessary to review not every particular set, but combine them just to make it more complicated. How can we combine our sets? So for example, again, I opened my Unit 1 cities set. I go here, this 3-dot button, and I choose combine. Here I can combine any sets I have. So I can choose anything and also choose what kind of activity I would like to do. So it's spelling, test, and so on. So I would like to create a test on these 3 sets, and I go and create a test. Like I said, again, I choose only written questions and not all of them. 72 questions is really exhausting, so I wouldn't recommend do that. Better to practice 15 or 20 questions from time to time. When I have some time traveling somewhere, like 5 minutes, well, I can just open my app and again, we do the same thing. We go through all the terms, we try to identify what is what and do the test. And this is how I normally work with Quizlet, how I create my Quizlet sets. Quizlet sets really help me in terms of preparing for exams. If you think that you can use Quizlet only for adults and teens, well, it's not really true, because when the pandemic just started, I also created Quizlet sets for kids aged like 9, 10 years old, and they did absolutely fine. So they enjoyed the Quizlet. For example, we worked with Kids Book 3 and I created sets, so not only on the vocabulary from the course book, but also on the texts and stories we read at that time. So for kids, I normally use definition, not really definition, but pictures. So creating like flashcards. So we can use pictures to create our Quizlet and the term. And examples, of course. So examples are also fine, but examples up to the level of the students, not very complicated. So the examples have to be with the vocabulary they understand. But it's absolutely fine to create Quizlets for younger students as well, and give them even as homework, so they can practice. There are some games on Quizlet, so it's absolutely fine. And this is how I work with Quizlet sets. So I would like to give you as a present the link to my CPE folder. So here is the vocabulary of C1, C2, different fixed phrases, different topics, idioms, phrasal verbs, and so on. These sets are not based on any course. So this particular folder is based on separate topics and also the extra materials I used. Like I read, for example, a book, Why Nations Fail, and I also added some vocabulary from there, some IELTS word lists, which worked for me when I was preparing for CPE, some fixed expressions and so on. So you can actually open, for example, these fixed phrases part 2, and here are some fixed phrases which may come in handy. To get this folder, please follow me on Instagram. All the links are going to be in the description, and send me a private message, Quizlet, and I will send you the link. I really hope you enjoyed the video and you're going to use Quizlet more after this video for your own studies or maybe for your students. It doesn't really matter. Please subscribe and also write your questions in the comments. So if you have any ideas on what kind of videos you would like to see about teaching, about learning English, about preparing for exams, I would like to hear from you, and I will definitely make videos on the topics which are important for you guys. And that's basically it. Have a good day. Bye.